We are approaching Love Month and kicking it off with turning what you love into an income opportunity. We all know someone who hates their job. Can you imagine what life would be like if you could turn what brings you joy into an income producing business of your own? That's what we're talking about today on A Bit of Insight with Lisa Mosby. Thanks so much for joining us. Over the past decade, Phyllis Gadson has achieved distinctions as a goal-focused professional, consistently committed to exceeding company objectives and driving overall healthcare office productivity and developing a culture focused on accountability and efficiency. Phyllis's mission is helping young women grow in confidence and create fulfilling lives. She is a servant leader who loves to serve, and she does that by cooking for others. Today, we're discussing how she turned passion to profit, finding joy in her career while creating additional income for her family. Phyllis, welcome. Thank you so much for taking your time and being here and pouring into our audience today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was lovely introduction, and I'm very happy to be here. I can't wait
Absolutely.
for the conversation to really start and connect and feed information to people who may need to hear what I have to say.
Yeah. Now, let's kick off with I don't know if this is an easy or a tough one, but why is it so important to do something that brings you joy, in your opinion? Well, 'cause I've heard you talk and tell me stories of how much joy you get out of serving and working, and you've always, or at least the things that you've shared, you've always loved what you did. Why is it so important that doing what you do brings you joy? Why do you think?
Well, what I do really is more focused on others.
Mhm.
And when you make life better for others, you make life better too for yourself. In serving, it's got to be all giving, and people today, or even in my journey, making a difference in people's lives in whichever way you can, whether that is economically, professionally, personally, it matters. And you never know what people are going through and what they need. So I meet them where they're at and get to know them and work with them. I've been very passionate about the next generation of young women. And in my journey, I have made sure that I find those young ladies that need help and need direction and need, encouragement, because it's very important. Life today is hard. And in my generation, we had our grandmothers available close by. The dynamics have changed where they don't really have it right at their fingertips. So who and why not me help to mentor those ladies?
Yeah. I do want to get into, people using their passions to start their own businesses, but where I want to start is in corporate America because I know you worked in the healthcare system and that has a whole, a vast majority of challenges. Like the vast majority of challenges are in the healthcare system. You're dealing with people who sometimes are at the worst place in their lives with their health and wellness, losses of loved ones, and then you've got the financial burdens. But yet, when I hear you talk about how you served so many offices and helped so many doctors do a good job, and you loved what you did when you were working in corporate America. Let's start there. How did that come out of you? How were you able to show up at work and really love what you do and do that for so many years and be able to pour into these different businesses? What was your mindset? Tell me about that experience for you.
Well, my mindset is, if you're going to do something, do it to the best, do it to the best of your ability. So what I did was I was very eager to learn everything that I needed to know to do this job.
Mhm.
So not only did I just learn what they gave me, but I do also went out the box and research too. Um, and at the same time passing on that information and mentoring. What I would do is mentor the young ladies and teach them what I know, as I know what I know. And as far as working with the doctors, making sure, because healthcare finance, in I started out initially in healthcare clinical,
Mhm.
got passionate about healthcare finance when I worked for hospice care.
Yeah.
And when people are at their worst, they need your support. And finance is one of the things that they struggle with unless you're on Medicare or Medicaid. So helping people figure it out, because I believe that if you bought your insurance, the insurance should cover your services. And vice versa, when I say that, the doctor went to school, he did all that stuff, um, he needs to be rewarded for his hard work. Healthcare is very complex in America, and getting to know and educate myself and learn the industry from soup to nuts, from you know pediatrics to geriatrics and in between, and teach the people that I know about what I learned. Like, we would do like in services to teach them how to and going along with the changes in the government and how they change things every year in healthcare finance. So that was what my was like my jamba juice
Yeah.
for helping people figure it out. And I still do that today. Every day there's somebody who needs to figure it out. So
Yeah.
what I did, I mean, I can start another company right now and help, like a company where they can get information from me and figure it out. I do it every day. I do it in church every week. That people know that I have this knowledge,
Yeah.
and I share it because it matters.
And what I'm hearing is you show up with a positive mindset. You're pursuing personal growth and knowledge through everything that you do and everything that you learn. And then you pour that into other people so that not only are you helping, but you're feeling fulfillment from learning. You're feeling fulfillment from sharing and edifying and lifting up folks. And yet we still need something else. Sometimes we have to go outside of corporate America. And I know you've ventured into a few side gigs where it's taken you into a different direction and it's given you other things like confidence and public speaking experience and even more training one to one. What comes to mind initially is you mentioned your career in Mary Kay. I don't know if that was your first venture on your own in business, but let's go there. Let's talk about what was that like to start? Many people call it a side gig or, a second income stream, whatever you want to call it. It's your own business. You're an entrepreneur. Tell us about that transition. You didn't leave corporate America, but you added that. And how did that feel? And what was your inspiration to do that?
Well, I'll tell you a story and try to make it pretty short.
Yeah.
I was in a very bad marriage.
Mhm.
And when I finally got out and I met Mr. Right, I had a baby girl. I was 40 years old. She was 1 year old. I went to the beach to play in the water and I landed in ICU, almost dying. I was 9 days in ICU. But as a believer, I knew that, my time was not now because I have to, who's supposed to raise Chandler? Long story short, after that whole episode, I came home and I took time off from work. And I'm the kind of person that have to be busy doing. So I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna join Mary Kay and help the women in Mary Kay that are going through something. There's always one at the table. So my passion for helping those women grew into the passion to really meet other women through Mary Kay. And I did the bridal expos, I did the community expos, and I really built my business with Mary Kay while I still worked. I only took a break from work. I decided to do an online job for Jewish Family Services while I was restoring myself. And when I was ready to go back to work, really and truly, I still continued to do Mary Kay. I won my card Mary Kay, but I love healthcare and continue to be healthcare, continue to do Mary Kay. It's a side gig. Um, and I still have those customers that I served. You know, those
Yeah.
people too use that opportunity as a side gig for themselves.
And what I'm hearing is the passion for you is the passion for helping people and specifically women. Like when you're pouring into them, you're pouring into you because you're getting it back. You're giving it out, and it's this energetic exchange that goes out and comes back as we pour into people. And these side gigs, they give us something emotionally. They give us this confidence and they give us this ability to learn and dive into personal growth and discover things about ourselves versus oftentimes I think it's shifted in corporate America, but I think oftentimes in corporate America, there's a job description and there's expectations, and it's all about goals and transactions and hitting targets versus many of the network marketing companies I've worked with. They really take you down a personal growth path to explain and teach to you why you can do this. They build up your self confidence.
Correct.
So, the topic is turning your passions into profits. And, did I get it right when I said this is what your passion is pouring into women, or were there other things that caused you to choose Mary Kay as your first outing into a side gig?
The thing that caused me to go into Mary Kay was to find a woman at the table
Mm,
that was going through domestic abuse
okay.
and help her figure it out and help her get out
Hmm.
if necessary and connect her with the people that helped me when I needed help. Mary
Yeah.
Kay was just the vehicle and at the same time became a side gig while I continued to work in corporate America. And I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. And I'm still friends with those women, you know? So I remember before that event happened and I was struggling with my ex, you know, this guy just didn't want to work. So I had to figure out a way how to make ends meet.
Hmm.
You understand? So I sold Tupperware. I sold a princess house. I sold jewelry. I even sold my clothes sometimes
Yeah.
because my kids, they were going through stuff because the house wasn't quite where it should have been. But I wanted to protect them so that they don't experience insufficiency. So they have no idea what I've done to make ends meet. I made good money, but you need two to make ends meet. And so, yeah, so what I do is help women figure it out. And a side gig can always help you make ends meet.
Yeah. And the
You
other piece
need
that
it.
I'm hearing is the community. Oh, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I believe if you're willing to do the difficult thing, God will do the impossible thing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you just have to have a willing heart to do it.
Yeah. And
That's
get into
right.
community. That's what I was hearing you say is like you're sitting at a table with women. You got in, you were the first one at the table. Like you didn't start there. You got into that. You followed your heart, found something that was going to, help you through your recovery process. You were sitting at the table. People poured into you and you took that and started pouring into other people. So that's another beautiful a beautiful picture that network marketing creates is they call them teams. When you're building a team, you become the leader and you pour into your team, and then you teach your team, the people you're pouring into, to pour into their team and create their own independent teams. And you're building leaders, you're building confidence, and you're instilling this personal growth in folks, and you're making money at the same time. And if you're in an industry that you're passionate about, whether it's skincare or healthy supplements or
Mhm.
healthy coffee is one that I do. There's so many opportunities. Everyone in the world who wants to have a side gig can
Yeah.
find something that's in
Absolutely.
alignment with what they like and they enjoy. What would you say the first steps someone should take are in making money with something they love to do?
The first step they should take is go ahead and try it out. Try it out. You know, if you like, for instance, I know I can have a business with my cooking. I love to cook. I've never had anybody say they don't like what I make. Um, I do serve the women at church that go in the hospital and come out and they need help at home that first week. You know, my food is very good because I cook healthy first. That doesn't mean lack of flavor, you know. So if you feel like you make the best empanada, if you feel like you make the best bread, you know, try it out. Try to sell it to your neighbor. Try to share it with your friends and say, listen, when you're having an event, I would like to supply the bread or the cookies or the whatever. And if you have the most awesome cookies, you're going to be selling those cookies. I know that because I know I every Christmas I don't buy gifts. I bake and I make pastry and I make fudge and I make black cake, which is a island cake. And I give those as gifts. And that list has grown. Every year it's grown, you know. So people said, do you sell it? I choose not to sell it at this point, but yes, I can. So that's one good place that they can start to share it with people close to you that you know, and that you can have them give you your honest opinion. And maybe they can help you, you know, monetize it. Maybe they can help you structure it. Whether that's if you're a dressmaker or, you know, research how to become a dressmaker and how can I market my dresses, um, you know, market that thing that you're looking at and who is your best client.
It's getting feedback and testimonials from people when you're gifting it out at Christmas time, you're probably getting accolades and people just love what it is that you're sharing with them. That's a clue that hey, you might be onto something right now.
Yeah.
This is something passionate that I love to do, and how can I scale this up? I do have a friend who she loved making gluten. She had a lot of allergies and made gluten-free cookies. And so I've bought cookies from her at Christmas, and she writes a hand note, and they're beautifully packaged. And I send those out as business Christmas gifts from her. So
Hmm.
you don't have to go into the big stores. You can be a small
Yeah.
boutique
Small
little
business.
business
Yes.
and share the word, spread the word, and find those either small businesses that want to support your small business, or find those small boutique shops. I have friends that have made cards, homemade cards, and they've been able to sell them, have a little rack in one of the boutique shops in their local hometown. They're all different kinds of crafts. So every one of us has a passion, something that we're passionate about. Maybe it's not crafts or cooking, but there is something that you're passionate about. Maybe it's teaching self-defense classes, or teaching students how to drive. There's companies out there, big companies that do a lot of these things, but you can have a private, more intimate, more personal experience, or offer a personal experience. And or you can join a network marketing company where they provide the product, they provide the shipping and the distribution, and you're simply somebody who is a representative of the product. We call it be a product of the product. Like, you use the product, you tell your stories, and you invite other people into it, and those people that it will help will get benefit, and you'll be in business. So there's
Yes.
so many different ways. How do we get over the fear, Phyllis? Because you know that people have had the desire to do it, but there's fear in getting started, fear of the cost of it, maybe sometimes, or just fear of starting. So what encouraging words can you share with our audience about that?
Well, you know, I've had people say to me, I don't know how to sell anything,
Mhm.
right? I said, all you got to do is ask somebody. And if they say no, that's okay. And you ask another person. And if they say no, that's okay. But you keep asking because you will get a yes. You have to do what? 5 to get 2, 10 to get 4. So it's not rejection of you. It's just they don't need it right now. And if you keep that attitude where it's not about you, if you don't ask, how will they know? And just keep asking. Market, you can research the market and stuff like that, but the confidence knowing that, okay, I'm gonna just do this. It's like when somebody want to lose weight and they know they should walk or exercise and they just don't have the desire. Oh, I can't. I'm too tired or whatever. One step at a time. Start with one step at a time. The confidence will come. You have the desire. Pray, give it to God. You know, how bad do you need it? How bad do you need what, why you want to do this? But you're scared. How bad do you need it? So, maybe get a friend that can help champion you, right? Someone who believe in you, someone who can say, come on, Phyllis, you can. My girlfriend of 20 something years, she joined Mary Kay just to, be in that space, but didn't want to sell anything. She won her car with me in Mary Kay.
I was just
All
going to
you
ask
got
you if you have an example of someone who successfully turned their passion into a profitable business. So there's one, somebody
yeah.
who followed you and who was friends with you and was aligned with you and decided that I'm going to get a free car to drive. How wonderful is that? Do you have other examples of maybe people who have turned their passion into a profitable business?
Um, I know many women right now or people who are serving in a business where they can make money but help other people. And in this business, it's about building community while you're working. And at the same time, what is the intention or what is the purpose of this business? This business is to stop food insecurity. So, what's your reason why you want to join with this company? What is your reason why? My reason was I remember when I used to load my car up with food from Whole Food and Publix and all that, and find the people that need the food because there is a lot of food insecurity in America, you know? And if if you don't try, what's your purpose? Which if you could do nothing else but the one thing that you would do for free, why not? I would cook for free, but at the same time, I can turn it into a business. And if you're have that one thing that you can do, maybe you're good with children, maybe you're good at teaching kids at home, but you don't want to go out and be a teacher. Well, start online, be an online teacher.
Or be a mentor. Yeah, they have, teachers aides. There's after school, like helping with kids to learn. I know several women who do that for retired teachers, and yet they felt that they could be great tutors, and that was part of their retirement income, a little bit of income. But
Mhm.
more importantly, they stayed vibrant because they were still engaging and they were still teaching and they were still pouring into young people, but they didn't have to do that 40-hour-a-week job. That is brilliant. The teachers turning into tutors. For those people who feel weird about charging for their work, we did talk about passions to profits. How do we turn our passion into an income opportunity? I want to take away some of the fear for that. We think, oh, I'm not worthy. Is it valuable enough? Am I selling out because I'm not giving this away for free? I know I've been in those spaces of having those kinds of thoughts. I've spoken with and coached many women who have come from that place in their own mind. Can you speak to that? If people feel weird about charging for their work, How do we help them see the value in that exchange and get over the hump of, you know what, this is my fees, or this is what I charge, or putting up a landing page or a website and asking to get paid for the value you put out there?
When you look at acts of service, right? Acts of service. Um, I use myself as an example. I know for a fact that I can sell my food. I'm not ready to, but I know I can. At the same time, I don't want to charge the church for the food that I prepare to give to others. For me, it's just me. If it wasn't the church, I would sell it. My neighbor, my friends, baby shower, whatever, and not feel bad about selling it to. I have a friend that's going to have a baby shower soon. And I said to her, I said, if you want me to bake something or bring something, if I needed money, I would let her know. These are 200, $50 or $40, and I will bring this, whatever you desire. But you got to get yourself out of the way. It's not about you. Think about it. You go to Macy's and you shop, or you go to the grocery store and you shop and you gave them your money, right? If you want to start a business, what is your need? What is your reason why? And if you believe in that product that you want to sell to someone else, if you don't think it's worthy, they're not going to buy it. You have to believe it's worthy and pray about it. A lot of things can come out of prayer, and God can meet you where you're at. In the middle of the night when you're thinking and you can't sleep, and you're going to say, this is how I need to do it. But you got to trust yourself and believe. And if you don't have enough belief in you, find that person that believe in you, that can be a champion and can walk side by side with you and say, yes, you can, Phyllis. Yes, you can. Just start with one step. I was an introvert. Okay. I was an introvert. Where did this confidence come from? I wouldn't tell people my business. I would just say it's none of their business. People know you need to know your business within reason, right? And once you start talking to people, they know, okay, my story about lupus. What I did, I let people know. I almost died from lupus. They say, oh my God, my aunt has lupus. How did you get better? How is your story? And I let them know. I am the kind of person, I don't do pills. I don't do a lot of pills and all that. I try a natural um, a natural avenue first.
Mhm.
And I discovered this juice that helps with lupus. I've been taking it for the last 20 something years. My daughter is 29 now. From the day that 1 year when she was one, I've been taking this juice. I haven't caught the flu, I haven't caught COVID, I haven't, but the thing is, I can be a business person in this company. I refer people if they want to try to drink. I refer people and they can have an opportunity to sell it. It's all about trusting yourself to say, okay, I'm willing to do the first step, and having a champion next to you that say, yes, you can, and if you can't find anyone, there's someone out there for you. You are saying there's nobody. Ask your neighbor, ask somebody close to you, even ask, let your best friend be your champion. Somebody believe in you. You just don't think they do. They do. I remember when I came down with lupus. It's not in my family. It's a stress disease for women. I was going through so much stress with my ex, but I did not let that stop me from doing my best self first at work. They have no idea what I went through at night, but I show up. Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. And the woman
Yeah.
that doesn't have the confidence, get someone that believe in you to show up with you, you know. There's a little miss, a young lady that was working for, it was one of the fast food company. And she became, she was in the same situation that I was in. She was 28 and she was working for one of the fast food company. And she decided to try to get more money because fast food wasn't enough pay. So she decided to try, okay, let me try something to do with billing. She liked numbers. And when I met Christina, Christina didn't know how to do healthcare. She learned by doing, and I took her and I put her under my arm and I took care of her. I said, Christina, you can do it. Well, Miss Phyllis, Miss Phyllis. I said, Christina, yes, you can. She was, wow, she was a piece of work. Yeah, but I had fun with her. When she didn't believe in her, I believed in her. And Christina took my job when I quit.
Oh, yeah. So we can be
Christina,
the mentor, we can receive we can receive mentorship. I'll throw this out to the audience. What is it that you're passionate about? Are you a retired teacher looking to become, create a side gig? Can you become a tutor? Can you teach something from home? Can you join a Mary Kay where they're teaching about skincare? Can you, there's other companies out there that might feed that passion for you. Get inspired by the opportunity that you create for other women,
mhm,
about going and being a mentor and inviting them onto a team and becoming a leader and pouring into the people in your team, the people that you invite into that business opportunity. You'll find it fulfilling. No matter where you are in your life, you'll find it fulfilling. And you'll also maybe turn your passion into a profit by sharing what you know, sharing a healthcare product, maybe meeting folks like Phyllis did who could help her on her health and wellness journey. And then she started sharing that with other people. There's so many opportunities for us to turn our passions into profits. I hope that Phyllis has lit a little bit of a fire underneath you to pursue this. I help women get placed into opportunities all the time. If this is something that you're interested in doing, go to my website, lisamosby.com, and book a call. We can chat more about what it would look like, how you would get started in business. And I even have systems and processes and tools available for you to use to get that business off the ground. And things can be affordable. It doesn't have to be expensive. Opportunities are abundant in this world today. Phyllis, do we have any final thoughts on wrapping this up? How folks can turn their passion into a profit? You've shared some beautiful stories, inspiration, and lit fire under me. I'm excited just listening to how you pour into other women. But I want you to wrap us up here and let people know how they can get in touch with you if they want you to be the person that supports them.
yeah, they can. I have a number that they can reach me at.
Uh-huh.
At 754-229-0076.
And we'll
And
put
leave
that in the
me,
show notes as well. Yeah.
yeah, leave me a message and I will be sure to call you back. And think about the one thing that you would do for free. Think about the one thing that you wish you had. Okay, maybe something you may come up with an invention, you may come up with something. It's when people in desperation that need extra money or need help for whatever reason, they all they got to do is take the first step. And if I don't have the answer, we can always find the answer. Ask somebody else, ask somebody who knows, ask somebody who may be, more versed in whatever that situation is. Just go forward and ask if you don't know. It's not about you. Take yourself out of the way and march forward and trust God. Trust God. He will give you insights. And it's one of the things where once you put yourself away from it, and then you'd say, okay, God, what now? Show me. Because He's listening. You just have to ask.
You might
I
just bring that right person into your life that will help you. It may not be a friend, it could be a complete stranger. But when we're listening and we're paying attention and we're asking and inviting in help, we don't know where it'll come from. You tuned
that's
into this
right.
show today, and maybe you'll get a takeaway, or maybe you'll feel inspired that this was the answer that you were looking for. And Phyllis might be able to help you, or I might be able to help you connect with what it is that you need to make life better for you.
Amen. Amen.
Beautiful.
Love it.
The time goes so fast when we're talking about these things, but I just want to say thank you so much. You've been an inspiration to me with the stories that you've shared and how you show up in the world, and the size of your heart, your ability to pour into people in communities, into our Morning Rush community that we're both a part of. It's an honor for me to invite you into my podcast and allow you to share your story. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being with me today.
You are more than welcome, Madame.
I
Very much.
appreciate it.
All
Yeah.
right.
So, hey, everybody, stay tuned next week, or I want you to come back next week where we're talking about do what you love, the money will follow. And my special guest next week is Leanne Lyon. So we'll see you back here next week on A Bit of Insight with Lisa Mosby. And I hope you enjoyed your takeaway. If you did, feel free to share it in the comments of wherever you watch this show, because we love your feedback and we want to bring you more of what turns you on, what gets you excited, what gets you inspired. So let us know. We want to know what you're thinking about when you listen to the show. So thanks again for tuning in. And please do come back next week. We'd love to see you. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Bye.